guys, how are you? So, I got a confession to make. Today I am talking about part 2, how to journal. Oh, realized my camera's over here. So today I'm talking part 2 about how to journal as a beginner. And I wanted to give you a quick confession. I did a Facebook Live yesterday and I hated it. Now normally, if I do a Facebook Live and it's not my favorite, it's really not the end of the world. I'm not trying to make it perfect for each and every time. And I want you to think about this too while you guys are working on your stuff. As you're working on anything in your life, especially when you're working on something that maybe used to be uncomfortable for you at first, maybe you're laying a new habit, learning a new way of doing things, learning a new way of processing and thinking, and all those new things as you stretch and grow who you are. When you do these things, if you look at 100 times that you're doing it, 2 of them are going to be the absolute best that you ever did. 2 of them are going to be the worst that you've ever done. And those other 96 are going to be somewhere in that range, right? So you've got to be willing to be crappy. Now, normally I would leave a crappy one up on my Facebook page because I knew that me showing up just good, bad, however, was part of the growth curve. And it's good for you to see me when I do well, when I do so-so, and when I do crappy, because you know then that I'm a person. So I wanted to share that with you. And the other thing, this is a little bit different. I deleted that video. That's something I've never done before. And it took me a while to figure out why I was unhappy. And I realized that I talked about today's topic, handwriting a journal versus typing or using an app for a journal. And that's a question that comes up a lot. But what I didn't do is I didn't talk about the real question. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We'll talk a little bit about the actual what's better, handwriting or typing, why, what's the good thing, what's the bad thing. But we're also going to dive into what is the real question you're asking when you ask me that question. Okay, so let's start with the question as it is at the beginning. The beginning says, Candy, I would love to start journaling, but I don't know. Should I be using a paper journal with my pen and handwriting it? Or should I just be using my phone or my computer? So the answer is both work. There's good things and bad things for both ways. And I would encourage you to do both and see what works for you. Let's start with what's the most important thing here. The most important thing is that you actually journal. You actually do it. I'd love it if you would do it every single day. And as you lay a new habit, doing it daily helps. It really helps you to create that new habit and get the benefit of journaling. So try both. My preference is handwriting, but that's my preference. And I've come to that place because I've tried both. So that's one thought. The science says that handwriting is probably a better option. And you notice that word better. It's not that it's the best option or the only option, but it's a better option. And what they recommend is that when you're using pen and paper to handwrite your journal, it allows you to slow down a little bit. You get a chance to breathe. You have to be a bit more thoughtful about what you're doing and a bit more mindful as well. And when you're doing this handwriting in your journal, it's more than just your thoughts to paper. You're holding the pen. You're moving that pen. You're feeling the paper. So it's more of a whole body experience. You've got your thoughts. You're looking at the journal. Hope you bought yourself a beautiful journal like I recommended in part 1. And then you have the tactile of what it's like to handwrite. So that engages a different part of your brain. It engages that part of your brain that is going to help you reduce your stress. So that's a wonderful thing, right? So more mindful, more intentional, more of a whole body movement. It's proven that journaling with handwriting and paper will help your memory. And as you age, it's going to keep your brain just that little bit sharper. And we all want our brains to stay sharp, right? So that's on the handwriting side. On the electronic side, there's kind of two ways of doing it. You can type on computer or in a Google Doc, or you can use an app. One of the easiest apps to use would probably be Evernote. It's a great app. You probably love it. It's super versatile. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. And the other way is just to use a Google Doc. Just open up that Google Doc and put the date on the top of that page and start your journal for that day. Other people have used email. And the way that I've seen it done, and I've actually done it myself, is every morning send yourself an email. Date your email, today is August the 14th, and then proceed to do your journaling in the body of the email and send it to yourself. So that's another way of doing it. Using electronic, the good side is faster. We spend so much time on our keyboard or on our phone texting that it's really a fast way of capturing your thoughts. It's also means that you don't have to have that book physically with you. You can journal anywhere that you have got your phone, or if you're a computer person, anywhere that you have your computer. So it could be a little bit more convenient. It can be a little bit faster. And on the other side is that it doesn't engage necessarily those same neural pathways that you might be wanting to get the benefit of. But that doesn't mean that using an electronic method is still a very good way of doing it. So I'd encourage you, try it a couple of different ways and see what works best for you. Know that one way may be better than the other way. And there's reasons that you might even combine both. So the answer is both have positives, both have negatives, and you get to choose. Now, let's just take a minute here and talk about the underlying question. And this is the reason that I deleted yesterday's video, because I realized that I knew that there was something missing when I was doing it, and it took me a while to figure out what that was. So here's what I hear as the underlying question. The question sounds like, Candy, I would love to take up journaling. Should I do a handwritten journal or should I do an electronic journal? And I think that the real underlying question is that I'm a little nervous to do journaling. It's new to me. What's the perfect right way to do it? So, give me a thumbs up if you're watching this in the replay or if you're watching live. I can see there's a few people that have been on and left. And most of the time my videos are watched way more on the replays. But give me a thumbs up. Does that sound like maybe what's really going on? Maybe you're looking for the perfect way to journal. And I want you to know that it's completely normal for you to feel nervous. You're going to try something new. You're trying to lay a new habit. You're not really sure if it's going to work for you. It feels a little uncomfortable. Naturally, every time we try something new, it's a little uncomfortable, right? So that may be more the question. So what if, instead of me telling you that one way is the perfect way, the only way that is going to work for you, and what if I asked you instead, so what would happen if there was no perfect way? What if there was just journaling and there's a perfect way for you? So I would suggest that you take that question and you think about it and you go, am I trying to create a new habit and just make sure that I only fit within that box of how I define as perfect? Or do I want to use journaling to clear my mind, to process my thoughts and process how I'm feeling so that I can feel better, I can feel happier, I can feel more fulfilled, I can feel calmer and more at peace? So instead of worrying about the mechanism, worrying about the why you're doing it, and look for what's positive, what you're hoping to achieve, how you're hoping to feel better when you journal, and move forward and try some handwriting and try some electronic and see which one makes you feel better. So there is no perfect way to journal. There is no perfect mechanical way to do it. There is your way. And I know that you will find your way. I have complete faith in you. So I hope that you enjoyed this. And this is part 2 of how to journal as a beginner. There's more videos that I'll be coming to you with. I've got a couple of others. If this resonated with you, give me a thumbs up and write a comment. What questions do you have about journaling? What would you like me to help you with here? And as always, if this resonates with you and you want to reach out, please reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you. I'm a coach. I love helping people live a more fulfilled life. And I really hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.